Let's go. Good morning, Matt.
All right, good morning, guys. It's rather cold. So cold. Okay, we're going to be doing some strength work today. So we're going to do upper body, bent, and straight arm like we did last week. We are going to warm up with a little bit of rehab for your rotator cuff. And then we're going to get into some straight arm and then go into our actual work. So equipment that you're going to need for the first two exercises is just a band. So it can be any band. Ideally you want a TheraBand, so the thinner ones. You can also use one of these or whatever you have available. You can even use a stretchy jumper or type of clothing will also work. But you just want to have enough stretch that you can get that pulling action, because that is what's going to start making this work, which is what we want. So to start with, we're going to be standing up nice and tall, feet together. We want good posture, so tailbone is tucked under, ribcage is in. And then we are going to have our hands like this. So think about creating a V with your forearms so that my elbows are the top of the triangle and my hands are the base. And I've got to try to maintain that shape as best as I can and try and straighten my arms over my head and then come back down, trying to maintain that, okay? It's going to be quite challenging. Obviously, the wider you go with your hands, the easier it's going to be, but you don't want it to be too easy. And also make sure that your wrists are neutral and they're not kinking like that, okay? We're going to do 10. We're going to be nice and slow. So ribs in, try and pull the band, elbows in, and now we're going to try and lift our arms up. We want open shoulders, chest in, and then coming back down to your starting position. And then we're going to go again, 2, and back, 3, and back, 4, and 5. If you're doing this in front of a mirror, it's a lot easier to check what your arms and your wrists are doing as well. So 6, 7, 8, 2 more to go, 9, and last one, 10. Okay, our second exercise is a stretch for your internal rotation. So we did this on Saturday. You're going to lie on your side. Elbow is going to sit in line with the shoulder. Make sure you don't have that shoulder out. I've got to pull it back in. So I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together, keeping a long neck. So I've got distance here by pulling the shoulder down. And then I'm going to bend my elbow. So you've got a 90-degree bend here. I'm going to grab the wrist and then gently push that wrist down to the floor. You may not get very far. And then come back up. Okay, so you're going to take it into a stretch. This is 1, hold, and then back off slightly. So you don't have to come all the way back up, just until you don't feel the stretch anymore. This is 2, pushing, and up. 3, and up. Try and get a little bit further each time. 4, and up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Keep the shoulder in as well. Last one, 10. Good. So as you bring that wrist down, make sure you don't lift this off the ground. So you've got to keep pulling the shoulder back in and down the whole time. You will feel it more. Okay, other side. So again, shoulder comes in, away from my ear, grab hold of the wrist, and I'm pushing down. This is 1, 2, we'll have one side better than the other, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and last one, 10. All right, we're going to come back to standing. You're going to grab your band, and we're going to do this one more time. So again, standing nice and tall, tailbone tucked under, ribs are in. Create that triangle shape with your forearms. Make sure your wrists are straight so they're not kinking all over the place. And then we are straightening. 1. Hopefully people don't have their gym setups outside because that'll be bad. 2.
I'm sure some have like the hanging bar maybe.
The doorway one?
Maybe some people have bars outside.
Yeah, I mean you could do it without the bar. 3, but still. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. So really fight for it. And last one, 10. Okay, we won't need the band anymore. We're going to go back to the floor and do our internal rotation stretch. So again, pull that shoulder in, 90-degree bend, grab hold of the wrist, and we are pushing the arm down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and one more time, 10. And other side. Okay. And 1. You could also, if you want to have something to support your hand, you can get a yoga block. Is okay? Rather than let it hang there. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more to go, 9, and last one, 10. Okay, we're going to get into a little bit of movement now for your straight arm. So you're going to want to grab either a pair of socks or a slider, anything that's going to allow your feet to slide on the floor. We're going to go from a plank position, tuck our knees into our chest, into a planche, and then back to your plank. And then we're going to use a hanging apparatus if you have one accessible. If not, let me know. I'll give you something else. But we're going to be using that for your arching hangs. Okay? So we'll start with this one. Start pushing. You're going to go into a plank If your wrists are a bit sore, you can turn your hands out slightly, is okay. Now I like to come to the front of my feet rather than on the toes. Personally, I find it more comfortable, but people don't like it. So you can do either way. Just make sure that your shoulders are over your hands and you are protracting the whole time, so we are not here, okay? So we're in a nice strong plank position. You're going to slowly bring your knees into your chest, keep leaning forward, and then you're going to slowly come back out. And you want to make sure that you've got as much of the weight through your wrists as you can handle, okay? So you're not relying too much on the feet. This should be able to slide quite nicely forward. Okay, we are going to do 5. They're going to be nice and slow. So starting in a plank, and 1, and back, 2, 3, 4, and last one, 5. Okay, going to the bar. I'm going to do arching hangs. So you're going to start passive. So the shoulders are going to be covering the ears. You're then going to go active, so the shoulders come down. You're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then you're going to try and lift your chest as high as you can to the ceiling, going back to your active position, and then back to passive. Okay, so you're trying to articulate through each different movement. So it is going to be, again, a slow rep. We are only doing 5. You move as far as you're moving in terms of how far we're lifting our chest up. And if you need to use your feet to assist, that is also fine. Okay? So 5. Losing my mic. All right. And 1. 2. 3. 4. And one more time. 5. Okay, it is time for the jumper to be removed. Try to do it without scratching the mic. Okay. Going into set 2.
Oh, here we
So
go.
back on the floor. Hopefully you can hear me.
Just watch the screen. I turned down the mic.
Oh my God. Okay. 1,
Wow. It's really coming down.
2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, back to your hangs.
I'm kind of glad you told, you at least explained the first round before this happened.
They know what I'm doing. All right, 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. And into set 3. Okay, 1. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh, this is slowly getting better. Oh dear.
Could just get worse, the better. Lots of rainbows.
All right, arching hangs. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, last set. And then we get into some bent arm. Got stuck on the lyre yesterday. We've got
Wait, how did you do that?
my jumper got wrapped around it on the bottom bar. I was just left hanging on the bottom bar on the hoop.
Ow.
It was good.
It's quite bruised.
Okay. Ready. Last set. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more time, 5. Okay, into your arching hangs. And 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time, and 5. All right, we're going to have a quick rest. The next thing we're going to do is some bent arms. So we're going to work on ice cream makers and dips. Ice cream makers, you can either do them on the bar or if you've got a set of rings. The rings don't have to be very high. This is probably more than enough because you're going to be in a tuck position most of the time. The second one, working on dips, a couple of parallettes. You can also use chairs as well, and if you don't have that, then you're going to be working on push-ups, okay? So I'll give you a minute, set up your area, and then we'll come back and I'll explain what we're doing. Okay. Ice cream makers, there are a few variations if you are not quite up to the level of being able to do that yet. I'd say you'd want to be very close to being able to do a pull-up, or you can do a pull-up, and that's usually the amount of strength you need for it. But essentially, we want to go from a front lever position, so that's starting with a straight arm in a tuck, and then you want to pull yourself up into the top of a pull-up, and then you're going back to that front lever variation, okay? And obviously, the closer your knees are to your chest, the easier it's going to be. The further away your knees are, the harder it's going to be, and also how high or how low you are having your hips will also determine how hard it is. So basically, we're going from here, pulling up, and then back to there. My hips were high, it's a lot easier than if they were down here. And like I said before, if my knees are tucked closer to my chest, again, it's a lot easier than if they are out here. If you need to keep them tucked, try to keep them tucked the entire time, because the minute you bring your knees away from your chest, you become heavier, okay? We might not be at that level yet, which is fine. So the second thing you can work on is going into a candle position. So jumping up to here, you can stay in a tuck. You can also go straight, and then trying to see if you can pull your thumbs to your shoulders. So you're doing pulling down like that. Okay? If you are not quite at that level, you can start working on your pull-ups. So you can set the rings a little bit higher and work on your variations of your pull-up. So either using a bench behind you to assist your feet to pull to the top and come back down. You can do negative, so I'm just going to jump to the top and slowly lower myself down. Or you can start from standing. So start from here, pull up, but make sure you're going all the way down with your feet off the ground. So those will be your base level if you want to work on your pull-up instead. So that is exercise number 1. The second exercise will be your dip or your push-up if you don't have access to P-bars or chairs. So for this one, you're going to start up in a support position, protracted shoulders, so I'm rounding them forward as opposed to being here. Straight legs if possible, bending the elbows, and then coming back up. You want to get to at least 90 degrees with your shoulders here. The deeper you can go, the better. It's good gains. Using your feet is okay as well. If you're not able to do that, you can work on your push-up. So starting here, chest to floor and back up, or we can go to our knees from there, okay? We are going to do 5 reps of each thing, and we're going to try and do 4 sets as well, okay? So let's start with the harder exercise, which will be your ice cream maker. We're going to do a dip, we're going to have a little bit of rest, and then we're going to go again, okay? All right. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask as well. Let's get started. Are you going to be in the way? Probably. All right. So I'm going to start in a front lever for this one. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then into a dip. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, we're going to have a minute rest, and then we're going to go again. on the ball. Okay. Into set 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, into dips. My shoulder hates dips today. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Ah, here we go again.
All right, minute rest again. You're halfway. Okay, set 3. Hopefully you can actually hear me. If you,
What did you say?
yeah,
Is it,
I said hopefully you can hear me, but obviously you
how
can't.
ironic.
If you are struggling with the repetitions, so if you can't quite make 5, sticking to 3 or 4 is also okay. So you can do that. That is if the reps are a bit sloppy. Then you can make it a bit easier. We're going to set 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then dips. Okay. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, resting again. We got one more set to do. And then we do straight arm. And still train. Okay, very last step. So ice cream makers, or pull-ups, whatever you're working on. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Dips. You're getting tired. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, resting, and then we're going to get into our very last superset, which is some straight arm again. Okay, so see you in a minute. Okay, hopefully you can hear the explanation. I will try and do it as loud as possible. Straight arm, you are either working on front lever pulls, so pulling from a dead hang up to a candle and back down, and there are different variations of difficulty within that. If you're not quite at the level of being able to get your hips up that high, you are going to just work on your leg lift, okay? And if you do not have access to a bar, you can do your leg lift on the ground. So I will go through those variations. I will do them on the rings. So you want to start from the bottom. Are these low enough? Too low. So starting from the bottom and then pulling up. Quick intermission. Okay. Somewhat even. So from here, pulling up into a candle so my hips are in line with my shoulders. And then back down to here, okay? You can also work on the negative, make them a bit higher. The negative is also okay, so that means you can jump up to that top position and try to slowly lower yourself down. They are twisted. So starting from here and then just lowering yourself down. But make sure it's nice and controlled. If you're just doing the negative, you need to make it at least 7 seconds to get down to the floor, okay? The other alternative, let's do our butterfly knot, is to work on your leg lift.
That's pretty cool.
Right? And you know the magic thing is, comes undone. Little magic trick.
Ah. Yeah, that looks cool.
That's how we tie off circus things.
Ah.
And it looks pretty.
Magic, yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
And then it's easy to undo.
So this one, you're just going back into your hanging position. Knees up, slowly back down. Again, nice and controlled, nice and slow. There is no momentum in it, no swinging either. And we want a 3-second descent to the ground. If you do not have access to hanging things, you are on the floor, hands are over your head, and then you are lifting up, tapping, and slowly down. Harder would actually be a tuck, trying to lift your knees up into your armpits and back down. Okay? Those are your 3 variations.
Was that the easy one?
Hmm?
Was that the easy version?
That was harder.
Oh, no, the leg one though.
Yeah, it's easy if you have a good pike, because you
Yeah.
can just cheat. You almost cheat and use your feet as counterweights.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, that's why straight arm is usually harder for people, easier for people who are flexible.
Yeah.
Because they can just compress. But if you are not very flexible, then the straight leg will be quite challenging in itself.
That's what I thought. That.
Yeah. But for me, I find tuck. I don't know. Try it. Try my theory. Yeah. But without pushing your hands on the floor.
Okay.
Yeah? No?
Needed to do it a little bit.
And then try and lower back down without your hands. Harder? Try tuck. Do the tuck one. Yeah, everyone.
Yeah.
I'm talking to no one.
It's hard to do it.
If you go hands over your head.
What? Like that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then lower down. And then try and do the same thing if you tuck tippy toes on the floor. And then try and lift your knees into your armpits, keeping your heels into your butt. And then down. Harder. So without that little...
It's just getting
Yeah.
past like
That. Yeah.
without like.
So I think it's harder. Gary's exit. Did you show everyone your bridge?
What's that?
Your back bend.
Oh yeah. What now?
Gary did a back bend. We might as well do it now.
All right.
Because you're so warm, you might need to be in the screen.
No, I'll be in the screen.
Yeah? The comments are annoying. I see. So this is what Gary learned on Tuesday. Yep. Hips forward. And then straight elbows. And then back up. Yes. And then forward fold. It's like a bow. Thank you, everyone.
There we go.
I feel like I'm going to sit down and eat banana now.
Yeah, I don't have my bananas.
Shame. Where was I? So that is your pulling. What Gary demonstrated there.
I forgot where we were.
And then this is going to be your push. So everyone can do this. It's just how far you can get your feet off the ground, essentially. Mine's not very good, so it might be better than this. But you want to be in a pike. Obviously, if you're quite tight in your legs, it's going to be a bad time. You can bend them a little bit, but we're trying to keep them straight. Hands are going to go to the floor. You're going to load your shoulders up. Got a mic in my chin. Load them up. And try to bring your feet towards your hands in a very controlled fashion. So you're trying to get a bit of a hover. Like, totally like that. Okay? Up and over. Okay? And we're going to be doing 10. So essentially you're going to be walking up for a distance. You might need to turn around and walk back. Depends how far you've got to go. All right? 10 of those. And we're going to do 5 of these. Probably going to regret that number, but we'll see. 3 to 5. We'll say 3 to 5. It really depends on what you're working on. If you're doing a really hard variation, then you can get away with just doing 3, but the intensity needs to be quite high. If you're doing leg lifts, I would do 5. Okay? Now, 4 sets. Let's go. Starting from a dead hang. Lifting up and back down. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, yeah, so twisted, and then to the ground, doing your push. Again, 10 repetitions, make sure you got enough room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, turning around, 9, and 10. All right, minute rest. And then we're going to go into set 3. Grab a drink. Just trying too hard. Okay, set 2. So back into your lever pulls or leg lifts.
Hey, Edge Fitness, how are you?
Okay. Hanging. 1, 2, 3,
Thanks for following. What do you mean, how many squats
4,
can we make?
and 5. Squads. What's a squad? It's like a new exercise that I don't know about. All right, into pushing. Remember to elevate your shoulders as much as possible. Try and suck your belly button in as well. You're trying to compress and lean forward is the goal. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that toe scratched at my toenail.
You found out. You may not have heard it, but yeah, she was trying to figure out how she scratched her arm.
I was too eager. That's gross. All right, 4 more. Last one. All right, and resting again.
And a minute rest.
Out of breath.
Go. Do you mean like squad streaming or something? Edge Fitness? Maybe. What do you mean squats? Zero. All right, back on.
Okay.
Ready for another set?
Set 3.
Oh, you've already wiped it off the board.
I wiped it off.
You're done with it.
Just mentally it makes me happy. Okay, 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Okay, onto the ground. And 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. All right, resting. We have one more set. And then you are done. Okay, last one. So again, if you are fatiguing, you can decrease how many reps you're doing, that's fine. Just make sure you're still working as hard as you were at the start of the sets.
Do it correctly.
Hmm?
Do it correctly.
Do it correctly, that's always good. I'm also stalling.
Yeah. I think
More
that's what,
rest.
reps or? Yeah, it's better to do it less reps but correctly than
Correct.
like yeah.
Depends how badly you're doing it. Like
You might compensate a little bit, I guess, but it's not too bad.
Towards the 4th and 5th rep, I'm straightening my legs.
Yeah.
Because it helps me get up.
Yeah, spring up, yeah.
But I'm doing a really hard negative. So I'm not rounded. I'm going flat back, makes it a bit harder. And I'm also going slower on the way down. So I still get that time under tension, even though I've made the eccentric easier. So the negative is harder.
Yeah, well, like
So
this,
that
like,
would be a compromise if you.
it's doing a bit more in the negatives.
Yeah. Yeah, negatives are a great tool to build strength because you're using the same muscles as a eccentric. Eccentric? You know what I mean. The word will come to me.
Like, get it.
Okay, last one. 1,
2,
2, 3, 4, 5. And then ground. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Turning around. Ooh, where is it now? 9. And last one, 10. Okay. That is the end of the class, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully you could hear most of that because the rain was very loud today. It wasn't too bad?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad when I monitored it myself. It wasn't too bad.
Good.
Maybe when it absolutely poured in, sure, that was crazy.
All right, cool. If you are not aware, we do have our Patreon up and running. The link will be in the comments section, or if you're watching via YouTube, the link will be down below in your description. Any support is greatly appreciated.
Can you do the YouTuber exit?
YouTube exit? What's YouTube
like
exit?
YouTuber, like, you know.
I do.
No,
Can I? I don't know how they do it.
Or like, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button.
Oh yeah. Oh, if you like this video, please hit a like down below. Help beat the algorithm. I feel like that's what people say as well. I don't know.
There's probably more like podcasts and things like that where they get you to write a comment because it really helps people find their podcast. YouTube has a great algorithm as well. So yeah, you can always leave comments and that'll probably help. But it's more on our end of putting things in the comments. And things like that.
Follow.
Yeah.
Support Patreon.
It's like, yeah, it's just that, what is it? If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit the like button.
Yeah.
If you want to see more of our content, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon
We're American now. And then you have the links. It's like the link will be here and here.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, because some people
links.
put links in between the videos, and then yeah, it's like check out our other videos, and then it's just check out Ray.
There you go. You can do that.
Yeah,
it's your little YouTube outro.
Well, I do an outro.
Yeah.
Some funny thing that I can just play at the end.
So we need the green screen, so we can be somewhere else.
Yeah, that's true. You just walk onto the green screen as the exit. That'd be cool. We can do that. Set something up.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. The random ending.
Yeah.
Catch you on Saturday.
Catch you later. Oh, actually, catch you real soon.
Catch you real soon.
Yeah, so Cara doing the
that's true.
The nutrition and health sort of like talk. I should have read the notes before I started talking, but yes, we'll be back in about an hour to do that. So I will see you then.
Bye.
Bye.